Welcome to the ultimate backstage pass, the pulsating heart of the high school sports universe. Get ready to rock with the gang from the Corner to Corner podcast as they take their sports obsessions to new heights. Meet the dream team, Sean Kiper, Neil Payne, Adam Muncy, Wes Crouch, and Daron Stevens, as they unpack the secrets, emotions, and triumphs that light up our local sports heroes. Whether you're gearing up for a game or unleashing cheers from the stands, get ready for an exclusive scoop that'll knock your socks off. It's showtime!
To another episode of the From Corner to Corner Coaches Corner presented by WinCity Sports Cards. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to share this out with all of your friends so they don't miss out any of our content. Before we get started, let's take a moment to thank all of our sponsors who we're honored to be working with. Community Trust Bank, Kimsoft, 22 Sweet Treats, WinCity Sports Cards, CRC Roofing and Renovations, Kentucky Realty Group, Jacobs Auto Body, Kelwell Commissary Simply Secure, Brent Wehunt Kentucky Farm Bureau in Frenchburg, and Jacobs Vision Center. Tonight we have with us GRC baseball coach Eddie Brooks, along with seniors Cam McAlpin, Chase Wheeler, and Ben Fulks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
We've already had a blast before we got started on the show, so sorry we're just a few minutes delayed here. We were waiting on some equipment, but we're good to go now. So,
were you going to try to say belayed? Belayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy belated show.
Yeah,
Happy belated podcast.
We're belated. That's what it is. So, anyways, guys, thanks for tuning or for jumping out and spending your Monday night with you and getting out of. Did you get out of practice today, or you already knocked that out?
After school. Yeah. Sean, just FYI, they're not tuning in.
No, they stopped by here.
Yeah, I know.
They're on the show.
They
don't have to
I said
tune
joining us.
No, you said tuning.
No, I said joining us. Play out your ears.
This is off to a great start. So, Coach Brooks, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born and raised in Lexington. Went to Lafayette High School. Blessed to play on a tremendous program over there. One of the few guys that I still admire to this day. He was my coach. Ended up being a mentor. Now he's a friend, like a second father to me, Steve Chandler, who helped give me the love of baseball. From there, I was lucky enough to play at the University of Kentucky for 3 years, and then past that, I was able to play a little bit of professional baseball, and came back to Lexington. Opened up a baseball school, ran that for 12 years, and then got into high school coaching in 2009, and then here we are in 25, and I'm still in high school coaching.
It was the money, right? The money, what got you
100%. I mean, the money that they give you to be a high school coach, I don't know why anybody would want to do it.
So you're coming off a 27 and 12 year last year. What does this year bring with these guys coming back?
Last year, I had a tremendous, great group of seniors. We had 12 of them who helped pave the way. Obviously, here's 3 more great seniors, and it was a learning curve for me, getting to know all of them and them, how I am with things, and buying in. And on top of that, I had a medical issue that put me out for a little over a month. So then I was gone again and coming back, and just the adversity that whole team showed, it just speaks volume of the character of those young men and the seniors, and of course these 3 are with me, and the other members on that team, which led them to having a season that they had. Obviously, everybody wants to win the last game. The only one team gets to, and all I kept telling them is at the end of this journey, you're going to get something special out of it. And I think they can honestly say everybody last year got something special out of it, and that's all you want. And I think it sets the year up this year to also have another great year. And now the group, everybody returning, knows the expectations, knows what our program stands for, what we value and stand on at GRC, and build from that and show the next kids. So it shouldn't take us as long to get into swing of things, where we all have a better understanding of what is expected from our staff to them, and them of our staff.
Stephen A. Sharp, let's get this thing started. What do you bring to the team?
I mean, I'm a guy. I mean, I like to show up every day and bring positive energy. I feel like that's something that you can bring every day that doesn't involve talent. It's just showing up and being just an energy source. And I feel like that's something my whole life I've been able to excel at and bring my teammates up with me instead of trying to drag them down. And just having somebody that can show up every day and just bring the energy, just keep everybody up. I think it's a big deal to the team, and I take pride in that being something I'm good at.
So bringing the energy, that means you control the aux cord on the bus and everything, right?
Normally, I'm controlling the aux books, the aux cord, but normally we'll get back. We'll have one long road trip every year, and we like to do like a karaoke night on the way back. And we were fortunate enough last year that Coach Brooks made an appearance at the back of the bus. There's a video. Can't show it on here, probably. He didn't say no bad, but it was lottie dottie. It was a great experience, and yeah, it gets rowdy on the bus when we win. When we lose, it's pretty
Right.
quiet. But
Well, that's after a doubleheader loss too.
it was a loss, no, but it was a we
It's a
didn't
hard
go
fought
out there.
game.
Yeah, it was a great game.
It's just a cumbersome of these guys and all the different things they went through. It was right after a road trip, and I asked them if they wanted to go. The kids did. It was that morning was the police officer here in town who passed away, and they had his memorial service at our school, which a lot of our kids obviously know them all.
Yep.
And I talked to them. I'm like, "Do y'all want to go play? It's up to you all." And it's a big deal. They did. We didn't play up to our ability, but they showed up to play.
Right.
And there's a lot to be said for that. And being someone who is in charge of these young men, and they can tell you, I love to have fun. None of these guys are getting paid. It's a game.
Yep.
Games are meant to have fun. I want to have fun if we do things the right way. And they do. And in the back, so I'm sure when I got up and went back there, they thought I was getting ready to get mad and start yelling.
Yeah.
But that's not what we needed
Right.
at the time. And it turned into something special. And I haven't even seen the video of it myself. And I'm scared of it as well. But
They're holding that for hostage.
I enjoy it. It's just to contribute to all those seniors who left. This group of seniors, which here's three great ones that I could, as a head coach, you can't ask for three better young men than sitting there here with us. And there's 5 other ones that are equally as talented and great young men as well.
Chase, what about you? What do you bring to the team other than a great mustache?
Great Army knife.
Huh?
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. I play multiple positions, so just wherever I'm needed, I'm there to help our team succeed.
The Ben Zobrist.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a little more than that, and Chase won't brag on himself. I will about him. He didn't necessarily have the year he wanted to have last year with us. He was times frustrated. I understand that. We had multiple conversations about it, and he came to the end of the year. We had another conversation, and he goes, "I want to play." It's my senior year. He was a great little role player here and there. I said, "Well, this position's graduating, this position's graduating, and this one."
Learn to play them all.
I said, "If you want to get on the field, son," I said, "here's the openings right now." I said, "I'm not telling you you're not going to go take a returner because I don't give anybody anything." Well, this young man, to show you the character he is, he went off from that point on all summer and learned to play 2 more positions to add value to our team. And we just had another one of those 2 positions right now. We had to, as a catcher, one of our catchers just broke his finger. You know, we don't know how long he's out for right now, but to his credit, he went this summer and learned how to catch. And we got some really good arms that he's got to try to handle back there. And he's tackled it with nothing but a great attitude, smile, which is, as a coach, what more could you ask for out of a player?
Right. What about you? What do you bring to the table?
Oh, jeez.
Really, I try to be.
Wait, why they got to do you like that? First of all, you're in mid-season form. You've already shaved. You're ready for the season.
I did shave
Still
actually
gross.
like yesterday. No, I could have a better mustache than you if I could. Regardless, if you knew me, you'd understand why they're saying that. But I feel like I bring like a grittiness to the table. I try to be the guy that's willing to run through a wall for my team at all times. I actually have done that in a game before.
The same day,
Yeah.
He bounced off of it and
he
went
did the
through it.
karaoke.
You didn't go through it?
No,
Hit the
you
weight
weren't
room,
here for
son.
this.
Oh.
I jumped up. I was trying to rob a grand slam, and the fence completely fell.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I try to be a guy who is just busting my tail every day for everybody. And like Cam said, I try to bring the energy too. We got a thing. It's like no fly zone.
Yeah, we both play alpha.
Yeah, last year we had Carter Maynard. He's one of the great seniors that left, but we try to continue that. We're trying to teach like the underclassmen and everything how to continue the staple of that. So I would say leadership and hard work is what I bring to the table.
So you make a great catch out there. You make a great catch. Y'all got a little celebration out there for the no-fly zone.
Yeah,
X.
yeah, X.
X.
And then on wins we do a little outfield celebration, a different one each time.
Yeah,
at
we
center.
like to talk about it before the game.
Yeah.
And then we'll meet in the middle and hit our celebration, whatever it is.
I like the fact they're prepping their celebration before the game even starts.
So does it depend on opponents? So like say an opponent's mascot or something.
We haven't did that. I haven't even
No,
thought about that. But
That's
we
a good
could.
thought.
That is a good thought.
Now we did do one that was a little personal one time, I think.
Which one?
The one where we kicked down the door.
Who do we play?
I think wasn't it Catholic at home?
It wasn't personal.
It wasn't personal. No.
We
Well,
didn't do it, but we should.
Right.
Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
I shouldn't say personal. It was just like it was one of those games that's back and forth,
It was,
kind of
yeah.
a little heated or whatever, and we threw a little extra spice on it. That was it. But
Yeah, they didn't bench it. I was out there celebrating the win.
Sean, you're about to get fired. These cats got some personality.
They
You're
do.
about to get gone.
Yeah.
You asked me to bring some good ones. I got 3 great ones right here, and Ben's just another
I mean, as
example.
soon as season's over with, we'll just bring them on a rotation.
Yes, you can, especially that one on the end down there.
Yeah.
He loves to talk.
Yeah.
And ask questions. He's limited to 3 a day.
Yeah, here's a rule. The Fulks rule.
We have the folks rule. He's allowed to only ask me 3 questions a day.
We're not lying. We're serious now.
yeah,
Man, you gotta really hammer those 3 questions too, because if you run out of questions and there's a good one, then you're like screwed till the next day,
I've
right?
ran into that 100 times. When they come in my mind, I ask them. I don't give them a lot of thought. I'll be honest.
That's when you go over to them and go, "Hey, can you ask this question?"
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
for
so
sure.
just a thought here. If there's one day you ask 2 questions, does that extra question go in the bank that you can use for a later day?
Oh, I wish. I wish.
No. Because before we hit the 3-question limit, it was about 75 in a row. I didn't have time to answer one of them. And I was like, that's it. You're limited to 3.
You're like, Ben, we got to practice at
Yes.
some point.
Yeah.
But no, he's another great one, and he is right. He goes 100 miles an hour. He will run in walls, done whatever it takes, and that's all 3 of these young men, and that's part of the reason why we're as successful as we was last year, and hopefully that should be a reason that we should have another great year this year.
I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the way. I'm a 2X in that quarter zip, and I'm a big head, so I can get one of those hats as well. West,
Listen, I'm Moco guy here. I live, born and raised. That's the best Clark County hat I've
No doubt.
ever seen.
I've ever seen.
It's
Ever seen.
sick.
Ever.
It
I
really
mean,
is.
from the time I grew up, went to school, that's the best Clark County hat I've ever seen.
And I mean, speaking of gear, we have something right there in front of us. Coach, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we our school is on a rotation when you're allowed to get uniforms. It just so happened to be this year was our year, and we switched companies from Nike to Adidas.
Okay.
And so we got 2 sets. That's one of them. Our second one, they haven't even seen yet, and nobody knows what it is.
Catch
It actually gets in tomorrow, by the way. So everything
First time I'm hearing that.
everything that we have done this year, because I preach a community effort to these kids. We went out Christmas shopping for Angel Tree. A bunch of them spend their own money to make sure kids done stuff. We did another Christmas drive. They did stuff in community, and all that was leading up to what I had in plan for the jersey, which is piggyback off what MLB does is the City Connect uniform. And me being an outsider, obviously not from here, transplant last year. When you say Winchester, to me, I think LA. So after getting an approval from my bosses, okaying me to put Winchester on it, what my idea was, and I had to get LA to okay it for me to put their logo on the sleeve. It turned it into something special and different because But I want these kids to be proud of where they're at. I want them to everywhere they go to have their head high, and I want them to have a program here as long as I'm here to welcome to come back for. And one of my things that I've always been is no matter where I'm at, if you played for me, you're welcome where I'm at. You know, some of these kids when we have workouts over Christmas break, you had 4 or 5 different college kids coming in who play for me at the other schools that are at college. And they're here because we have unbelievable facilities. And I want them to be able to come back. And when they go off to college, him to Eastern, Fulks to Enterprise State, yeah, I play at GRC. Look what we doing. And I want them to be proud for, as I am where I went to school at, because they've heard me talk about my high school. Is you want pride in it, and I'm trying to get all that back. I want love the city to come out, and what better way to represent that and we're all in this together. And L8 jumped on board. Actually, our March 21st, we're doing an L8 night. Was actually be the first time we're going to wear those jerseys. L8's coming out, a bunch of their people in there, so it should hopefully be a big night and a fun night for these kids.
March 21st sounds like we got plans.
Very possible. Yeah, I agree with that. Who you play March 21st?
Perry County Central, I believe. It's a Friday. It's a Friday night at 6:30. That's why I chose that game.
That sounds absolutely perfect.
And
put that on the calendar.
Yeah, and and I want everything we do for these kids is I want them to do with pride.
Right.
I want them to do with class, and I want them to do with their best that day, whatever it looks like. I need your best. And when they put that on, it just should have a little different meaning to them, because we all have our school, but it's a town too.
Right.
A very prideful town is what I've learned since I've been here.
Right.
Wonder, are you like one of the first high schools to attempt this, or?
As far as I know, I'm the first.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're going to start a trend.
I love doing things out of the box, and these kids will tell you of some of the stuff I come up with. Like when I got here last year, I switched all their logos.
Yeah.
From what they've had in the past, I got rid of them, and we went 3 new ones.
Well, I mean, if Coach Robbie Graham and Coach Cooks listen, that logo on that hat needs to be on everything.
Last year's hat was the other bird, but it was also darked out. And then I have the traditional hat that has the regular one on it as well. And then the third hat this year, they haven't seen yet. No one has seen. So we do 3 hats. So last year we had a gray hat that had the C logo on it for Cardinals. We're going to say that's what it meant. And then we had, I call it the mean bird on the red hat. It was just normal. Then I had their traditional GRC logo on the black hat, but it was all blacked out also. This year, they've seen 2 hats. No one has seen the third hat yet.
Gotcha. So, as players, do you all get to decide the uniform combos before games, or does coaches decide that?
Sort of.
Pitcher.
The starter, the next day gets to choose what we wear, which I like. I want my pitcher to feel comfortable, because if he's feeling comfortable, I'm feeling comfortable. That's just how I look at it. But
look, I've known you for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many situations where you don't feel comfortable.
That is a valid point.
Clip that part right there.
Yeah.
Do we need to go commercial? I saw you look at your.
No, I was looking at the time so we could clip it. That's a good clip.
Gotcha. So you all had a chili supper and auction this past weekend. How'd that go?
It took off and went extremely well. Last year, I was only there for like 10 minutes. Like I said, I had a medical issue that put me out for a while, so I didn't get to enjoy what it was and what they did. This year, I was there the whole time. This fool over here going nuts, bidding on stuff, jumping up and down, mean mugging people, trying to bid on stuff he is. The 2 things I wanted to get, I got outbid right away. I think I got fired at a coach over because he outbid me on the thing I wanted. But it was very successful. The community came out and supported these kids. We had a great evening. Our cafeteria, I don't know if we could have fit another 10 people in there. Food was phenomenal. The stuff that we had auctioned off, I thought was about as good as you can go get anywhere. We had great baseball memorabilia. We kind of had something for everybody. And I thought it was very successful, and we were able to do quite well in it. What's your thoughts there, Mr. Question Man?
I can touch on the having something for everybody. You know, my cousin and my aunt both bought something. My cousin bought like a pizza night and a stay in the gorge for like 2 days. And my aunt bought like a Keystone Grill or something like that.
Okay.
There's like leaf blowers and stuff. There's all sorts of
I
stuff.
bought Reds tickets and a toaster up.
What game was it to? Or do you know?
I get to pick out of 57 games.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good. There's a Dodgers series, a Yankee series, but I went and watched the Dodgers last year. Coach Brooks was there, and so I don't know about the Dodgers. But I like the Yankees could be good, or the Phillies because my favorite player is Bryce Harper. So
We went and watched Phillies Guardians last year at Cleveland. That was pretty fun.
Chase, what's your take on it?
Chills over.
No,
I think it's a great
the pizza dinner you had.
He just woke up.
They were talking about the Phillies.
Chase is still thinking
No,
about
I
that
think
good
it's great.
chili that
It's
he
a great
had.
fundraiser. We get a lot of the community involved, a lot of people that we don't see a lot, and new faces too. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff they like to buy every year.
yeah, I mean it's $10 for a ticket. You get
Yeah,
all you can
free
eat
food.
chili, dessert,
Yeah.
and you get to bid on stuff. I mean, for $10, I mean,
All right.
can't really eat nowhere no
So
more.
who had the best chili?
There's a lot.
I like
know.
Miss Cecil's white chicken chili. That's just me though.
I don't know what
even
two
eat
I
it.
had. They
I
were
don't know if
both
she made it this
phenomenal.
year or last
There was no names on them, so I couldn't tell you.
year. Yeah, but that was good. All the
Yes.
chili was good.
I just had lemonade. Okay.
Dingus.
How's that?
You didn't eat the chili.
How's that not?
I'm not
so-
a big chili guy, I'll be honest. Me neither. I had a cupcake. I had one of those little Piper Rockello things, though. Little chocolate balls, you know? Which are good.
He did give me one.
This is a popular thing. Is since you all eat chili, noodles, no noodles.
No noodles.
No noodles.
No noodles.
No
My
noodles.
guys.
Peanut
What?
butter sandwich with it or
No
no?
noodles.
Did everybody just
Yeah,
say
butter
no
sandwich.
noodles?
Yeah.
Everybody said no
No
noodles.
noodles.
I don't know, dude.
It's
I mean,
crackers.
maybe it's because I grew up and my
Yeah, crackers.
my
Yeah.
Yeah.
mom and dad
Yeah.
never made noodles.
I like soup beans.
I
don't
like
make chili.
Fritos too. Crackers, Fritos, either one.
Crack-
Wes,
yeah.
he did
Fritos?
redeem
Fritos are
himself
good.
with PBJ or
Yeah, that makes
Peanut
sense.
butter
true.
sandwich is good.
Hank had pimento cheese too.
They did have pimento cheese, and I was so
And grilled
mad because I
cheese,
didn't
right?
know
Yeah,
they were
grilled cheese.
separated.
Yeah.
I go and grab a sandwich. I go take a bite, and it's pimento cheese. I was fully expecting peanuts.
Yeah.
I was.
I would have been okay if
I was.
you knew it was
That was,
pimento cheese, right?
that was probably the first situation I was
That's-
actually uncomfortable in.
That's one of those you put in your mouth. You go,
That is
great.
That is not what I was expecting.
Peanut butter cheese.
Guys, Coach kind of talked on it a little bit. From a player perspective, what does it mean to you all to put on that GRC jersey?
Let me say something. You know, I transferred here my 7th grade like summer, and I've never felt a place more like home. You know, this is kind of weird, but I've slept in my jersey before. I love putting it on. Like,
Listen,
I,
don't worry about being weird. We had Montez Gay on here, and he said
Yeah.
if he plays a good game, he wears his underwear backwards. So
whoa.
you're nothing.
Yeah.
What's that? Gonna be weird?
Montez like, don't bring that back up
I
again.
mean,
Like I have a saying, you know, we bleed red. Like that's my own personal thing, and like every time somebody asks me, you know, where are you from, I'm very quick to tell them GRC. Not just because of the athletics or anything like that, but like we've talked about the community and everything. It really feels like they're behind us a lot. Our administration consistently helps us out to do fun, like exciting stuff, like a City Connect uniform. You know, I live and die for GRC, and I feel like they can say the same thing. So,
That's awesome.
what about it, Chase?
it means a lot. It's got a new meaning this year, connected to the city. Never had that before, so it's just gives you a little more reason, you know, to want it. Yeah, it's special.
Pam, before you answered,
Okay.
I just had this celebration idea come in my head.
Mhm.
So March 21st,
21st.
March 21st, you all get the dub.
Okay.
You have somebody standing on the outfield, Stone Cold Steve Austin style, throw you two L8s,
Yeah,
That could be.
kicks
I
together.
like it. Yeah,
We'd have to pass that through ball.
He doesn't like
no sticky turf.
It's not that. It's
We might do it with fake LAs.
class.
Yeah, class.
class.
We're going to be classy.
Yeah. Imaginary LAs.
Imaginary.
Yeah, but
Or
back to the
Kentucky.
question about what it means to put that jersey on.
I was with you. I was totally in.
Yeah, I mean, my dad graduated from GRC, and you know, you always hear the stories about playing in the district tournament, region tournament, playing against Mac Whitaker. Dude's been coaching 10th region baseball for forever. I mean, it's just there's a lot that comes with it, a lot of stories you hear. My house, I actually live on. I'm not gonna tell you where I live at. It's the road, but I live very close to the old GRC baseball field, so like walking distance. So I would walk to every game when I was younger. So just having that background where I would look up to the players, and now I feel like I'm being somebody who has little kids that look up to him. It means a lot to put on that jersey, and I try to give everything to my teammates and to like represent not just my last name, but Winchester and Clark County on my front.
Amen.
Awesome. Let's take a quick commercial and we'll be right back.
You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by Jacobs Auto Body Repair and Paint Shop is the ultimate pit stop for all your car needs. With a combined experience older than your grandma's secret cake recipe, we're here to fix you up. Drop us a line at 859-274-7425 for a free quote and let us get those wheels rolling. Our yearly growth is like a high-speed chase fueled by the love and trust of Mount Sterling and beyond. It's all hugs and high fives to our amazing crew of customers for keeping our engines revving with success. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by CRC Roofing and Renovations. CRC sprung into life in the year 2000 thanks to Rusty Cerniglia's bold leap into entrepreneurship. Juggling a full-time job with his small gutter venture, he watched it blossom into CRC Renovations. Fast forward to today, CRC boasts a dream team ready to dazzle both homeowners and businesses alike with their top-notch services. Special thanks to KimSoft, our title sponsor of the From Corner to Corner Athlete of the Week in Montgomery County. KimSoft, eco-friendly industrial services, is your go-to squad for all things squeaky clean in the commercial and industrial world. Based in the heart of Mount Sterling, they are your friendly cleaning wizards, serving up sparkling magic in areas like Lexington, Louisville, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Huntington, and beyond. Let's turn that grime into shine. Feeling jittery about diving into the world of property? Fret not. Let Kentucky Realty Group help. Whether you're gearing up to buy, sell, or just need some guidance, let their expert team help sprinkle in some magic on your experience. From cozy condos to grand mansions, they've got your back. Seeking a fixer-upper, a slice of luxury, maybe a peaceful rural retreat, they've got the keys to all those kingdoms. Dive into their treasure trove of listings and let the property adventure begin.
All right, we are back with GRC Baseball here at the WinCity Sports Cards Studio, our Kelwell Commissary Simply Secure Roadshow. Wes, you had some questions there, buddy?
I did have a question. These three have obviously got a lot of animation, don't care in the world to talk to somebody. Your team's pretty close, pretty gelled together already. And I would think that helps going into the season early.
It does, most definitely. And part of the reason why they're so the way they are is we're one town, one school.
Right.
I mean, for the most part, these kids has been together since middle school, since kindergarten.
Yeah.
And that's all they've known is each other. And it's easier to build team chemistry when you've been together that long. Now you got the other group behind them and behind them, and maybe a transplant or two. Like Fulks said, he showed up in 7th grade, and they just, with the vast majority of them from here, they just put their arms around each other. Some are a little more vocal than others. Some are trying to find their voice, and some are trying to figure out where they fit in. And like I've told these kids when I was lucky enough, when I got this job last year, and I've said it everywhere I've been, I said, I'm going to be the hardest coach you'll ever play for, but the easiest one you'll ever play for. There's certain things that I like to do, and that's just my way, not saying it's the right or wrong. My coaching philosophy is a direct impact of my high school coach, Steve Chandler. They met my college coach. He was the actual guest speaker at our chili supper, Coach Madison, and my father. I am literally those three guys rolled up into one. I got a little bit of this one, a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one, and then I turn around as a player, what did I hate doing? And I'm probably more upfront with them about certain things than most coaches. going in like today, we were fortunate enough to be outside on the field. I'm like, hey, we're getting ready to we're going to start our bunt coverages. I hate it. I don't want to do it. Y'all don't want to do it. It's going to be miserable. Shut your mouth. Let's focus and get it done.
Right.
So I know it's miserable. I hated it as a player, but you've got to do it. And kudos to them. But we rode through it, got it done, knocked out. They were very professional and handled the business so we can go on to other stuff. And it makes life easier when you do that and their close-knitness. And now last year, it was not that way starting. we had a lot of running.
Yeah.
and that's just how I am. And maybe one or two got suspended in the course of the year. But they've bought in. I love them all. They're great young men, along with the other two places I've been as well. Those two places are obviously very special, and this one is as well. And I want them kids to know here that this is who we are and this is what we stand for. And it goes all the way back to them being together, and it makes life easier.
You mentioned that you played baseball at UK. You played for Keith Madison. What does there's a lot of people that know who Keith Madison was. There's only been, in a lot of our lifetime, there's only been 3 coaches for UK baseball. You've got Keith Madison, Gary Henderson, and then now Coach Mingione. What did Keith Madison mean to you? What have you been able to draw from him as a coach to follow over into your coaching?
Coach Madison's biggest thing was for me is taught me how to be a man, of how to handle adversity and deal with it in a professional way, because not everything is going to go your way. Like any young kid coming in, and that's why I'm preparing these two, understanding as a senior. Obviously, these 3 are both very gifted. Well, they hit college. They're no longer that big fish. They're back to the low man on a totem pole. They've got to figure out how to get back in the lineup and what they do. And for me, I was the same way. I was obviously on a very successful high school team. I was really good. I got to UK. Now I'm not that guy anymore. So I had to learn how to deal with coaching and handle things. And he was very instrumental of how he handled me to still let me be me, but yet in our team setting. And then along the line with discipline and being able to get things done and what's important in life. And I can't thank that man enough. And I'm blessed that I'm 52 years old, and I still to this day talk to my high school coach and my college coach.
Yeah.
I get a text message from them. If I go 2 days without one from Madison, I'll call and check on him. I'm a lucky individual.
Gotcha. Do you all feel that, from Coach? I mean, is he checking in on you all? Do you all check in on Coach? I mean, and stuff like that quite often.
Yeah, for sure. I can speak to it personally from my own experience. I've had some hardships and stuff that I've been through, and Coach Brooks has offered me whatever I may need. Whether it be a room to sleep if I need it. And words really don't describe how thankful I am for that. I love Coach Brooks. I love my team. And there's not many coaches out there that I feel like would do that for you. In the same sense, he's offered to buy me meals if I need it. The list goes on. So.
Gotcha.
I can also touch on that in personal experience. I actually lost my grandfather last season, like towards the tail end of the year, and it was really hard on me. And Coach Brooks was one of the guys that was really there for me. And the team rallied for me, and that was what got me through the rest of the year. And that meant the world to me. And I think it just shows that Coach Brooks, he really cares about not just me as a player, but as a person. And he'll go out of his way to make sure that I'm doing good and I'm still being able to be who I am. And that means the world to me. And I know he's helping a lot. And it's just, thank you, Coach. It's the world.
Yeah.
So obviously he's gotten you two to where you can, where you are going. You're going to go to Eastern, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're going to
Enterprise State.
Enterprise State.
I had nothing to do with it.
I thought he made that up earlier.
No, home of the Boll Weevils.
No,
Adam was so ready to talk about that.
And their 2 defenses, they were heading those places before I got there, and I'm just lucky to be a part of their celebration. That's hard work on them prior to me showing up.
So how's that process been for you two so far? I mean, you committed and know where you're kind of going. Some people know that this early. Some people are still making that decision going into their senior year or even midway through. So what was that process like? And, I like to hear your point of view and a player's point of view that we talk about that's going into a college
Yeah.
sport.
I mean, the whole process was honestly very surreal. Just growing up, wanting to play college baseball, especially at the highest level of Division One.
Mhm.
And I mean, just the whole part of the recruiting process was really cool. And then finally getting the offer I wanted, and then being able to say, okay, I want to go to school here. And then that's just the first part of it. And then you got to wait until signing day, which they just went away with. You got to sign the paper and then do all that. So signing day was really cool. Me and Ben had it the same day. That was awesome. All the team was there. I got to see family and everything. And now I guess it's just getting stronger every day and working on my weaknesses so when I get there,
Mhm.
like I said, I'm just more prepared for what happens. And I mean, me and Coach Brooks have honest conversations. He's not going to sugarcoat anything to me, and he knows he can shoot it straight to me. And we just try to work on what I'm bad at, honestly. And it helps a lot day in and day out, just putting in the work and showing up. And I think that's the main focus right now is just working on my weaknesses. So when I get to the next level, I'm more prepared.
You guys, I was just going to say, you guys are one of the few players that we've had on this show that's actually going into the season with that already behind you. So, you know, you can touch on this and bounce back to Cam, but like, does that feel like a relief off your shoulders? Because I mean, we've been doing this for 2 years with these coaches shows, and most of the time, players are sitting here going, "Well, I've got a school looking at me," or "We're talking here or there." Very rarely do we have someone on here that's actually already got that signature behind them, and now they can go into the season just focused on the season and not having that as a distraction.
I can speak on that for personal experience. There was a lot of times where it was sleepless nights. And I'm wondering, is this going to work out? My dad spent oodles of money on me. He's drove me across the planet. We put 200,000 miles on our car in one summer, like ridiculous amounts of travel.
That's a lot of travel.
Ah, good.
I'm exaggerating a little, but
Okay,
but
you got to understand folks math.
yeah,
Yeah,
His dad's hands are still gripped. You don't know what else to do.
yeah. I mean, having the weight off the shoulders is crazy difference. There was a lot of times when you get to a certain point, I feel like in your journey, you kind of are thinking like, man, the clock's it's right in front of me. The sands of time are a real thing. I'm only getting older. I might have some opportunity to continue to showcase myself, but is it going to be in front of the right people? Is this going to be a game where I, play well or showcase myself well? And then once you finally, start seeing the side of things you wanted since you were a kid, like he was saying, it really is surreal. The way I got my first offer is probably a lot different than a lot of other people did. Like they'd never seen me play. One of the former players they had put in a good word for me, and from working hard in front of him, and I didn't think it was real at first. I thought I was basically pranked. It's kind of a funny story. Like my friend locked his keys in his car. And you hear a lawnmower in the background, like I'm on the phone with the college coach. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't really talk right now. But he was cool about it, and he was like, we're gonna go ahead and offer you and everything. And yeah, it's huge relief.
So where is Enterprise State at?
It's about 45 minutes, an hour to Panama City. It's right on the panhandle of Alabama.
Okay.
I wanted to go south. It's train year round.
Enterprise, Alabama. I know
yes,
that
yes.
because I just looked at the logo.
Yeah. And like both of them, and it's all part of discussions. Obviously, those two are already preset that I try to have with the incoming seniors. Another one who's already committed in this group, Maddox Campbell, who's on the basketball court. He's one of our big time arms. I've had multiple conversations with Chase if he wants to go to college, if he wants to play baseball. He's going to lineman school. Just so happened to be my cousin. That's what he does. So getting him hooked up. I had another senior who decided to want to be a pilot. Well, I happened to coach a former player who's a pilot. So I got them in connect. So, whatever they want to do, I want to try to open up a door for them and get them in contact with that person to do it. Another senior is going to be an anesthesiologist. I'm trying to get a hold of a buddy of mine who's an anesthesiologist to talk to them. So I'm systematically trying to talk to these, get them, lay out. The question I ask these young kids is, do you want to go to college to play baseball, or do you want to go to college to play baseball and go to college? That's two different meanings to me. So I explained to them, and I was a kid, no pun intended, Mass will tell you as well. I was a kid that had to go to college to play baseball to go to school. I didn't go to college in baseball. So the only reason I was in school was to play baseball. Some kids want to pick the right school for their degree and maybe try to play baseball there. And the biggest thing is to help them navigate what's best for each one of them. And being able to do that will help make them successful. And, I'm down to basically one senior left, and waiting on him to let me know what he wants to do, because I want to do this and I want to do this. And I'm like, I can't help you until you tell me. And because I don't want to waste other coaches' times or other people's resources' times until they decide. Yeah. And we have conversations, and I've had multiple this young man sitting beside me about it. And they said, are you sure you don't want to? Hey, no problem. What can I do to help? And that's all we can do is try to set them up for success, and no matter what, because at some point in time, you're not going to put a uniform on anymore.
All right.
Okay, now what are we going to do with our life?
Yep. Well, and, the best decision that you can make before you go to college is know whether or not, because if you're not bought in, don't go, because it's too expensive of a risk not, to do that. So if you know what you're wanting.
Yeah, and then it's like some people, it takes 30 years to graduate. I'm not saying no names here, but it sounds like you're speaking from experience. I might know the guy who took that long, but it's every situation is different, and it's my job to try to help them, educate them, and do whatever I can to help point them in the right direction. I'm not going to tell them.
Right.
I'm going to help them, because I can't make that decision for them. Because if I do and it's wrong, now they resent me for life, and I can't do that.
Right.
And nor will I ever do that.
Sean, you did make a good point. The only one I can think of that we've had on the show is Sarah Zink. She's out of Coastal Carolina as a junior.
That's true. Yep.
She's the only one that I can think of, because even Reagan
had signed with Marshall.
She had signed with Marshall and then decommitted, went to Troy, but she didn't sign until after she had already been on the show once. I think it was with basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so Chase, I'll ask you a question here. If younger kids are watching this show right now, younger baseball players, heck, even underclassmen on your own team, what piece of advice would you give them, not only as a baseball player, but as a human, and how you grow?
Always work hard. I mean, that hard work will always get you further than just talent in itself. So a big piece of it is just hard work and staying focused. Don't let outside things distract you. Get your schoolwork done. Stay focused in the classroom.
All right, Cam, I'll let you answer. You keep looking at me.
Okay, yeah, I do. Okay, so I've matured, I feel like, a lot since I've been on the GRC baseball team. I joined the team my 8th grade season. It's my 5th year. I'm a senior now. And I feel like whenever I first got into it, it was just all about me, 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 me. Now I look at it, it's like, I don't even care about how, because, for example, Chase isn't even going to be playing baseball after this year. I don't want to be remembered as that guy that was a good baseball player, but was a bad teammate and just a bad person to be around. I would much rather be somebody who you can look back on in 20 years and be like, oh, he was a great teammate. He was a great kid. So if you're a younger kid watching this, or anybody, I would say try to put your teammates in front of your own needs. You should, like Coach Madison said at the Chili Supper, you should want your teammates. You should be just as happy for your teammates' success as you are for your own. And I feel like that's something I've really put in my own life, starting last year, I'd say, and then carrying over into this year. And it's definitely changed how I feel, and it's changed how I handle success as a baseball player and failure. You fail a lot, but whenever you're happy that your teammate's succeeding, somebody's going to succeed every game. You're happy.
Right.
That's just how I look at it. So try to be a good teammate every day. That's all I say.
We had
You didn't raise your hand. I was waiting for you to raise your hand.
No, he just speaks out. He doesn't raise.
we had a wounded veteran who came in during Veterans Day and spoke to us, and he said something that really stuck with me. You know, my dad was in the Marine Corps, and I've always been pretty military minded or whatever. But you know, he has no legs, and he's totally blind. And he said no matter what he was doing at the time he was recovering, he was putting one foot in front of the other. And he said it didn't matter which way he was moving as long as he was. And I think that if you take that into your daily life, you know, a lot of people struggle with indecision or, you know, regret. And I think if you do stuff 100 miles per hour the best way you can, then you can't go wrong, you know, whether that be baseball or the classroom or whatever it may be. If you put your full effort and intensity into something, then you can't get anything but positive out of it.
That's deep.
Hey, these kids are good.
Dude, you should hear us in the PlayStation party at like 2 in the morning. We
in the Call of Duty lobby.
Yeah.
I think the conversation is a little different.
Much different.
But no, it's just, again, as a coach, it speaks volumes that this are three of our leaders.
Yeah.
Right.
A bunch of them. I mean, how could you not want to coach these young men?
Right.
You know, and I'm very blessed to be here, very blessed to have them. And that's just one of 35 that we have. There's 3 of the 35.
I mean, the other 32, these 3 have raised the bar tremendously for this season tonight. So it's like, you better show up or show out, right? So,
Yeah.
So you were talking about that's something that you would try to tell younger baseball kids out there what to do and how to get better and live their life. I'm sure in the off season, coming up and being seniors now, in the off season, you'll have seen some people last year into this year that you're kind of like, oh man, they've gotten a lot better in the off season, and going into this season, I think they can help us. So who's one person or a couple of people that you all can think of off the top of your head
I would
that's
say
that person?
Definitely not his bat, but Abram Howard on the mound. He made a huge jump this offseason. He's been up to 92, big arm, big kid. People better be worried. Just going to be honest.
Make sure you bring the radar gun.
I'll bring the radar gun.
Bring the
We'll
radar
test
gun.
that 92.
He hit one off
if he
the very
pitches,
top of the batter's out of damn.
Yeah, he did hit one off top.
That says
Kid's
anything.
legit. Our whole sophomore class, man, loaded. Those kids can play. I mean, just to start, name them. Abe Mullins. They're all big kids. They don't look like sophomores. It's not
they're all
fair.
bigger than I am.
They tower over me. Abram Howard, Tyler Howie, Abe Mullins, Haddon Cecil.
List goes on.
The list goes on, and we got some
Jake
good
Todd,
Jake Todd.
Carson Watkins.
I mean, that class is loaded. It's unfair.
no wonder he wanted to come coach in Clark County. He's got a minor league system coming up here.
I got some great young kids, and it's just a contribute to their hard work, and they get better in the off season. And the funny thing about it with us is, yes, we work on getting better every day, but we really don't. You know, everything we do is something for life.
Right.
We didn't do it much this year. Like last year, they had to write thank you letters every Friday to somebody who got them where they want to. And if I can get them successful there, we're going to be successful on the field. Right. And so I'm blessed to have coach baseball, and I'm blessed to coach these young men, but I use that to do different things. And a lot of things we do or talk about has nothing really to do with baseball. It's more life stuff. And in that process, you get baseball out of it.
Sure.
And, decision makings about, every decision we talk about. I had a young man who went to a game. He missed a practice. He had tickets. I said, hey, great. Don't blame me going. I'd go too, but you're going to run when you get back because these are team rules. No problem. Now, does that mean I like him any less? No. I told him I'd have went.
Right.
Because it was a big game, and I don't blame him. I want him to experience life. But at the same point in time, in everything, whether you show up late to work or there's some type of consequence, whether it's good or bad. And so I try to incorporate that and making them make a decision. If what you're getting ready to do, is it worth what you're getting ready to go through? If the answer is yes, then do it 100 times. If you have to think about it, you might want to do it. And not by no means am I saying our consequences are severe, by no means, but that's life. You wake up in the morning, get out of bed. If you opt to go above the speed limit, you might get pulled over and get a ticket. That's a consequence.
And we don't live in a world that consequences is really a thing anymore, as far as in the learning consequences and stuff.
Correct. It's taking it out, and they police themselves now. I mean, it's just my thing. It does not make any kid better or worse. It's just one of my weird things is when we enter our indoor facility or our field, we're getting ready for baseball. Our shirts are going to get tucked in and our earrings are coming out. It's that simple. If they don't, which is fine, that meant all of his teammates let him down. So they're going to go run while he stands there and watches. So we learn to hold each other accountable. Now, with that being
Hands over at the door, patting him down.
with that being said, now with that being said, I want them to hold our staff accountable. We mess up too. I mean, I messed up this year once. It's cost me 2 dinners. I made a mistake with a kid, and I told him I fessed up. I mean, we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And by no means do I know everything. I'm human too. Usually the first mistake I make every day is getting out of bed, and then it's all downhill from there. But
your wife tells you that, right?
No, she's still sleeping because she has to go in a little later. So she's like, I just know I messed up because I'm coming in. But and that's part of it, and they've taken ownership of it and run it now. Last year, the senior to get them used to it, they put somebody at the gate because they got tired of running. They fixed it themselves. Now you can do other stuff.
Yeah.
And the small things add up to that major thing, which in turn for these kids, him being, going in lineman school, he does something small that's wrong. That's huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Them going into college and do something small, that coach could send them home.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, is how the things that I use on baseball to prepare them for life.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the schedule this year. You said you got a lot of good teams coming in.
Yes. Last year, I think when I got hired and handed my schedule to them, they were a little shocked. And as all coaches, and I hope whoever's listening, please don't take us the wrong way. We're all arrogant, think we're going to win every game. That's period.
Yep.
I get beat, I'm mad because I'm supposed to win.
Right.
Well, I want to play the best of the best. If they kick my teeth in, fine, we're going to play again. I need to figure out how I can beat you. So the only way I can do that is put together a schedule of teams that I know we got to show up and play. This year we have a weekend series. We got number 15 in the nation, Trinity, coming in and Alexa Catholic. We're going to play them back to back. We're going to go to St. X and play them. We got Lafayette twice. We got Somerset, LCA. You name a school around that's pretty dang good, we're going to play them. I don't need a bunch of Helen Keller Schools of the Blind to go play to make us feel good and being 38-0 and get beaten the first game of the district.
Right.
That does us no good. I'd much rather go in the season in district 15-15 and test it. Now we're going to be prepared to have a shot to win it and keep advancing. And we had the schedule out last year, and I had this conversation with the kids because I've seen their schedule in the past. They okay, not nowhere near what they did yet last year. And ask them how many are we going to win? It was 12. It was 14. It was this. I said, fine. I get to know them because I spent the first 2-3 weeks of fall practice. What's your name again? Learning names. We got done. And I told them, I said, we're going to win 25. They thought I was nuts. We won 27. I said, fellas, I told you you're good. They can play. They're good. Now, just because we're good don't mean we can win. We still got to go play. And they did. They showed up and played last year. We had a great year. We return a great group back. That don't mean we're going to win. They still got to show up and play. Because guess what's going to happen? That other team on the other side of the field, they want you now because of what we did last year. So they got to show up even more prepared this year than they were last year. Because last year nobody expected it. Now it's expected, and that's how I want it for them. I want them to be the hunted, not the hunter.
So as we get ready to wrap up, gosh, who do I want to start with?
Can we take our commercial before you do that?
Oh
Yes,
my
you can.
gosh,
Make
let's
them
take a
think more.
commercial.
You're only like 5 minutes late. I mean, we got to pay the bill.
Yes, got to pay the bills.
You're gearing up to buy, sell, or just need some guidance. Let their expert team help sprinkle in some magic on your experience. From cozy condos to grand mansions, they've got your back. Seeking a fixer-upper, a slice of luxury, maybe a peaceful rural retreat. They've got the keys to all those kingdoms. Dive into their treasure trove of listings and let the property adventure begin. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by Tutu's Sweet Treats, where you can treat yourself to our divine lineup of desserts that will dance on your taste buds. Whether you fancy gooey chocolate brownies or our deliciously moist cakes, we've got a treat for every sweet tooth out there. Give yourself a sweet escape and take a bite of pure bliss. It's time to surrender to your cravings, grab a fork, and dig into our homemade goodies for a dose of sugary happiness.
There's no hot mics on this, right?
Well, we'll see.
Well, there is now.
Okay.
The guy holds one in points. That means there's
The
a hot
worst
mic.
thing you could have done is said that in front of Adam. It's the worst thing you could have done.
Stu, Virginia.
Hey, the commercial, the All-State commercial. Hey,
Great commercial.
Get the brand out there, either way. But I'll start with you, Cam. This is your opportunity right now. This is a sanctuary city right now.
Okay.
There's no punishment, according to me. Now, Coach might think something different.
Okay, so there's no punishment from Coach Brooks? Is that what you're
Well, I mean, he has to tell you that.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, no punishment.
I'm listening.
What's something Coach Brooks says every day in practice that you kind of pick up on?
Oh, God. Okay. 3 things he always says that I can think off the top of my head. The first thing he says is when something bad happens, either it's practice or game, Jesus! Jesus! He yells Jesus.
No, it's GB Christmas.
Jesus and Jiminy Christmas! Christmas! That's how he says it. Christmas! And he always says, if somebody messes up, he'll yell at him. He'll say, we mess up, we fess up. Just basically saying, like, you mess up, admit you messed up, and fix it. Don't sit here and give no excuses, which is good. You tell them once to do it, and they normally just start saying, yes, sir. Or he'll make them run. And then, what's something else you say? Something else Coach Brooks says.
GB Christmas is the big one.
Pelotes, he always yells that.
Pick up the balls.
Pick up balls, yells pelotes. He says that his Cuban teammates call baseballs pelotes.
That's because that's what it is.
That's what it's called, yeah. But... well, clearly. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
That's why you ask questions, because then you get answers.
Appreciate you will answer too.
Yeah.
Chase, what about it? What's something that Cam didn't say?
Oh.
He don't have much to say.
Yeah, no, it's not.
He's not a saying guy.
He's just, yeah.
He has been a we mess up, we fess up recently.
Yeah. I know there's one, I think.
I had one in my head. I said 3.
Yeah.
And I said 2, and I'm blanking. Jesus. I can hear it in my head.
I mean, it's not really catchphrase, but the out thing when we play like wiffle ball.
Yeah, we'll play like every once in a while. He'll let us play like a wiffle ball game where we get to like hit offhanded in the field house, and every time he calls somebody out, he'll like run up to him, point at him, and be like, "You, oh!" It's so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, Coach Brooks, he really does the perfect just like happy medium of, you get to have fun, mess around, but then on the other side, you got to know when to reel it back in and take things serious. And I mean, we have a great group of guys. I'm just so happy to be on this team, and I wouldn't wish to have it any other way with coaching staff, anything. I love it. And it's not just like they're not just great teammates, they're great friends outside of baseball. Everybody on the team. There's no tension between nobody. It's like
Right.
I know Ben would probably if somebody came here and punched me in the face right now, these two guys are jumping on top of them. And that's the kind of guys I want to be on a team with. And I think that's what made us successful last year because that was really the first season we actually all rallied behind one another. But keep in mind, we didn't even have Coach Brooks half our year. Our real leader was out. So, I mean, I'm expecting a big year from us, and I'm excited for it all.
I mean, I wake up every day ready for practice.
You don't have to suck up to coach.
I'm not.
I mean, we already know he sleeps in his uniform.
Yeah,
so,
I dream about baseball. Like, you know the saying, and when it's not baseball season, I look out the window and wait for it to be baseball season. That's every night for me. I'm serious when I say, like, I enjoy practices and stuff so much. He makes them fun. He makes them hard, but it's like a good hard. Like, in a sense where, you know, you feel like you're earning something whenever you get done with it. You know, a hard day of work where you're proud of what you did at the end. And speaking on what Cam's talking about with the team, you know, we're incredibly talented. And like today, for example, I got out of practice and I was smiling ear from ear because I was just like, we're good this year. Like, you know,
I thought it was because he knew he was coming here.
He wasn't. His question limit was lifted.
One of his questions today was, so Coach Brooks, do I ask the questions or do they answer?
No, it is. You got to find that happy median of, you know, letting it. I want them to be them.
Right.
I need all their personalities to be their personality. By no means do I want to stifle it. And, you know, I love cutting up. I love goofing off. And there's a fine line of doing that and still getting the work done. And they'll all tell you, you know, one of my biggest sayings, and I'm sure I can't believe they didn't say it, is I usually ask them, is it your turn to be punched in the throat?
yeah, that's.
And it's not all of them. It's more a joke. I think I was one of them. I said, "You're gonna make me mad, punch him in the throat." You know, it's just kind of that running joke of being loose, being free, and because nowadays these kids have enough stress put on them, and doing this and doing this and being here and being here. I'll turn around and every year, and I'll tell them this, and it's nothing. Whoever's listening. Our preseason, would we go through? I know you're going to strike out. I know you're going to make an error. I know you look like you're never going to play baseball before in your life. You're going to just be absolutely awful. Now go play and have fun because I don't really care from that point on. You're going to do it, so I'm not worried about it. Now go play. What? Go play. Go be you. And then somewhere in there, we find out who they are. I'm not a big cookie cutter person. I need these three guys to be them. And then how can I help them be the better version of them in that process where him is, hey, let's work on doing this a little bit more. Him is do this a little bit. This one is do this. And that's where you start getting, and the last year's group did a phenomenal job of it. And this year is buying right in and is setting us up to hopefully have a great season. You know, are we going to win our last game? I can't tell you that. Our goal is to, but if it works, great. If not, great too. It's not the end all be all. Our goal at the end of it is to look ourselves in the mirror and know that you gave me everything you had every day, and it just didn't happen this year. And they've won.
That's awesome. All right, so one of the things I like to ask all the baseball guys before we have on there, I know you're a Bryce Harper guy. Does that mean Phillies is your favorite team?
Reds, big Reds fan, but just Bryce Harper. Funny story, actually. Went to a Legends game. I mean, Bryce Harper was the #1 pick. He's playing for the Hagerstown Suns. He comes in. He was kind of struggling, I think, but he comes in. He gets a home run. It was his first ever home run in the MLB or major or minor leagues. And he comes over and he signed me a ball. So I've had that ball since I've been. So that's just what made
I was at that game.
Bryce Harper.
We used to be season ticket holders for the Legends for like 8 years.
Yeah. So that's what made me a huge Bryce Harper fan. But my dad and grandfather, huge Reds fans. Both sides of the family, Reds fans. So Reds
Bengals,
fans.
anything Reds, anything Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, just because it's the closest thing, I guess.
Coach, what about you?
My favorite player is a guy by the name of Ozzie Smith.
The Wizard.
Oh, yes. Now, I was a huge Cardinal fan back in the 80s and stuff. Now I just watch games and watch players. I'm fortunate enough to know some of the guys in the big leagues now, so I follow them. I don't necessarily have a favorite team, and 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 with my background, I've met a lot of great people. But Ozzie to me is that dude.
Yeah.
Growing up being a middle infielder. So here's my funny story about Ozzie. Is I was coaching a summer travel team, and we played in the World Series out in St. Louis. And the hotel we stayed at, connected to the hotel, is a radio station and Ozzie Smith's restaurant. Pretty much any kid that has ever played for me knows that Ozzie Smith's my favorite player. And I've never met him, never seen the man before, other than going to the games. Reds when he comes to Cincinnati, and I went to St. Louis a couple times to see him. They go, Coach, Ozzie's down there doing a radio show. So I'm sitting in my room. I'm like, do I go down there? Because to me, Ozzie's here. And I'm like, if I'm going to go down there and this man's not going to come out and say hi to the kids and do this, it's just going to destroy what my built up image of Ozzie is. I said, well, I love Ozzie. I got to. So I go down there, he gets done. I sit on the stoop, watch him. And thank goodness, this man signed every autograph of every kid, shook hands, took pictures of all probably 200 people there. Stayed there the whole time and done it. And I walked up and I said, Mr. Smith, I just want to tell you, you're my favorite player of all time. And I'm just happy to meet you. And thank you for what you just did with all these kids. And shook his hand. And he goes, you want my autograph? I said, no, I'm good with that. So he takes my hat off and signs it. But it was just, I was like, I left. I'm like, yes, he was what I thought he was. So that's my Ozzie Smith story.
That's fantastic. What about you, Chase?
I'm a Cubs fan.
Let's go.
So, yeah.
That's
2 weeks in a row. We're on a heater right now.
So when I was younger and I just first started watching baseball, it's when Javi Baez was going through like his prime with the Cubs.
Oh yeah.
And that was always my favorite player because I played middle infield. So that's where I started like the Cubs.
You don't swing at everything like Javi does.
No. No. Prime, yeah. Yeah. He was legit then. For me, it's Derek Jeter. I'm a Yankees fan. Sorry.
That's why I don't have facial hair.
Right. Nah, but I don't have a story with Derek Jeter. I mean, I don't know the guy. I didn't see him before this or talk to him.
Hey,
But,
Ben, come on, make up something.
I definitely could if I wanted to.
Definitely could.
But,
I remember this time back in like 09.
yeah, no, I've always loved him because, he was the rock for his team. The model of consistency, even if people want to argue about the defensive side of the ball, but that's besides the point. He was the captain of one of the greatest teams of all time, and when you needed a big play or somebody to rally behind, it was always Jeter. So
that 1990s, early 2000s Yankees team was the team that everybody wanted to hate, right? Like, the Patriots with Tom Brady, the Chiefs, the Bulls. I mean, not everybody loved the Bulls when Michael Jordan was on that team, but I know that his defense gets a little bit of knock, but he's, to me, the run down, grab the ball, back flip to get the tag out at home against the A's is one of the greatest defensive plays I've ever seen in my life. And I was one of those. I'm not a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Braves fan, so I was the victim of a lot of that.
Yeah.
But you have to respect the greatness of Derek Jeter.
He was a winner for sure.
So let's flip this. Who's y'all's favorite players? Can we hear that?
yeah.
Like of all time or right now?
I would say
We were going all time.
all time. Like, yeah.
I pulled out Ozzie. He ain't played since.
Team and favorite player.
Dale Murphy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I was a Slammin' Sammy fan.
Jay Bruce
like
is a
Sammy
sleeper.
Sosa.
too.
Slam
Jay
it.
Bruce, I've always said
He's another good one.
I'm an Eric Davis fan.
Eric the Red.
Yeah.
Now,
He's
So I was at the Game 2 World Series when they swept Oakland.
Yep.
And they went back to Oakland. You remember what Marshott did to him? He ran into the wall, got hurt, left him there, and he had to buy his own plane ticket back home.
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
Coach, you got to remember, he's old. Like, he belongs at home at this point. He don't remember anything.
He looks younger than I am.
Looks
Just
can
by a
be
couple
deceiving.
years.
Looks can be deceiving.
I'm probably the weirdo in the bunch. Mine's a pitcher. CC Sabathia is probably one of my favorite players of all time.
That's not a bad one.
Not that pick at all.
Didn't he just go in?
Yeah, he's going in the Hall of Fame
Yeah,
this
That's
year.
what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Where the Yankees at?
His fantasy baseball team used to be like,
That's where it should be.
what was it? It was CC. What was the name of your fantasy baseball team? CC. I can't remember. It was something to do with that CC though.
Oh, we did a spoof on was it CNC?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It was CC Sabathia Factory.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Yeah.
He's a good one.
So that's awesome. I like talking about that. Do any of you collect baseball cards since we're in the
yeah.
baseball card shop?
Yeah, I got.
have a bunch of them.
I actually got all my dad's baseball cards.
Yeah, that's
passed
how
down
I
to
am.
me.
My dad's has
Yeah.
a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff that
I got my own baseball card too, signed from when I was like 4.
Yeah, I won my own baseball
Yeah.
card from when I was like 8.
Yeah.
There was an Eddie Brooks card
Put
for
your own
auction
stats on
at
the back.
Chili Supper.
It had
Was
my
it really?
stats on the
Yeah.
back.
Same one that's over there. There's
And,
one over
and
there.
his wife bought it.
Number one supporter.
Got it.
No, actually, no, somebody else bought it. She got
Nick
outbid.
Ahorn's
Yeah, she got outbid. I told her,
Yeah,
I said, she's crazier than heck. I've never really collected. I've got a couple. Obviously, I got Ozzy's rookie.
Right.
Yeah.
I got Larkin's rookie.
Yeah.
And a couple other just randos, but I just never collected, but I wanted Ozzy's card.
Getting an eBay update right now on a Caglione card that I've been watching.
That boy can play.
He can hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he has
My
a
sister ruined a like $2,000 patch signed Aaron Judge card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That
we-
happens.
Is
we
she
got-
still alive?
Well, the funny thing is, we got in like a little argument or something. I was feeling bad, and I was like, you know what? I'll give you a gift. And I was like 12 probably, and I gave it to her, and I hadn't seen it in a couple months, like a little later after that, and I was like, you still got that card? And she'd thrown it out. She was like, oh yeah, I accidentally threw it in with like some just random trash.
Oh my gosh.
I was
Payne gave me
devastated.
a signed Derek Jeter poster.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty sick.
Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming on.
This is a blast. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. I mean,
Before you close things out, I got to test how well they were listening.
okay.
What size shirt do I wear?
2X.
All right. I need an Enterprise State shirt and I need an EKU shirt. As soon as you get on
You
campus.
wanted a hat.
And a hat. Look,
I mean, that hat is sweet. So
I
if
mean,
there's,
they got 'em for sale.
tell me, I mean, I'll buy it. I don't care.
They're in the car right now.
I mean, I like stuff for free.
I understand. It's free for me too.
But how much are they for sale for other people?
$25.
They're $25.
It's not that bad at all.
We got 23 in it.
You got Venmo?
Yeah.
We'll talk after.
All right. But no, it's worth. Small school, small budget. We got to do what we can. And
Small school. We got 8,000 kids in that school.
Small-
1,400.
No, you didn't just get our facility.
That's beside the point. Say nothing about the facilities.
Still got to raise our own money.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We
We
got-
still
we
got to
had-
raise our own money.
I mean, y'all are having to have chili cook-offs. and
Right.
Yeah,
auctions.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo.
They got to work
Bingo.
High-end
bingo.
contest.
And then they haven't did the build a player yet.
Yeah,
That's still
that'll-
got coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up, the what?
Build a player.
Tell us about that. Sean, I know you're wanting to close. But
All right.
yeah,
Basically, what it is we'll give them a script to send out on a text message, and you click on it, open it up. It's like buy a hat for $20, pants for $100, jersey $100,
Gotcha.
and it's a donation.
Gotcha.
You just want to build a player. As far as outfitting them in a uniform, glove, bat, pants, jersey. It's a great fundraiser, an easy one that we do. That the kids actually have to do that one. There's no really adults involved in that because pretty much the adults handle the chili supper and do a lot of the bingo stuff. So this is something for them to do, and that's what gives us all of what I call our extra bonus stuff. You know, our team jackets we buy, the hoodies we buy, the t-shirts we buy, allows us to have our 3 hats to do the wild crazy uniforms. We do have a company that comes. So like these kids, this is how good these kids have it. When I was in high school, we had one uniform.
Mhm.
We had our uniforms in Lafayette were white with red pins. They're New York Mets replicas with a big stripe down the side. We had one hat. Our road jersey, coach said the locker room has them go buy them. So we had to go buy our second jersey. These guys got 5 sets. And then after the game, they take it off and throw it in a dirty hamper, and somebody picks it up and cleans it for them that we pay for. They don't even have to leave. They don't do nothing. They literally got to keep up with a hat. That's how blessed they have it.
And how many hats get lost on a year?
You read my mind.
Since Caden Spicer graduated, 0.
Yeah.
They only get issued one. If they lose it, they got to buy the next one.
Gotcha.
And
And they're $25.
and if I run out of them, then that means the day we wear a hat, they don't play. They do not get to have somebody else's hat because I write the numbers in the hats. I'm a big component in you're going to be responsible for you.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. For sure. That's pretty cool. Can we do like build a podcaster so they have paid for some of this equipment?
Podcaster.
Hey, don't knock on it yet. I mean, there's some life in
No,
that.
we're going to see a post go up next week without us even knowing. We'll be like, what? Oh, no.
I'll delete it.
All right, so it is.
Hang on. Stop. We've never done this before, but we've never had somebody like this before. So, do you have the live feed pulled up?
Yes.
Do you have it? I know you did earlier.
Yeah, I don't anymore.
Pull it up.
Okay.
Just bear with me.
We're barren.
Chase, take your headset off and look right here at the camera.
Yes.
Chase? Okay.
Go ahead. Look right at the camera. Yeah.
Does he have to stand up?
Yeah, you did say stand up.
Yeah.
So y'all listen.
Wait, show him. Turn it.
And y'all tell me when Chase is on the screen.
Right now.
He's now on the screen.
Stand still.
You're moving, Chase.
That is the young Ryan Blaney right there.
We done all that to compare him to a NASCAR driver.
Yeah. They put the side.
Put the side
He did the side by side.
Yes.
You know,
See, I was thinking like he's got the Zach Top mustache going on.
well, I was thinking
Oh, wow.
with a little bit longer hair and a goatee, he could be off Yellowstone. Oh shoot!
And longer hair.
Oh, yeah.
They
I know.
called him Russ
Yeah.
from a racing movie in the past.
You're not talking about Rip. You're talking about the other
Casey.
son, Casey.
Casey.
Yeah, if he had a goatee and a little bit longer hair, he'd be Casey off of Yellowstone.
I don't know. I think you
Russ
nailed
Wheeler.
it.
No,
I mean, nailed it.
Yeah.
I know Wes
see
is the
that.
only one in this room that'll appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty spot on.
As soon as he walked in, I'm like, he looks dead on right.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so time for us to name our KimSoft Athlete of the Week from last week, and name our new nominees for this week. I think it's pretty obvious with the numbers that this kid put up. He had a 55-point game and broke 1,000 points. So our KimSoft Athlete of the Week is going to be Montana Brashear from Bath County. So congratulations to Montana. I mean, that kid plays in every single sport. So, if you play Bath County, you'll see him again.
You'll
next
see
year.
him in baseball.
Oh, no. He's going to be playing baseball. He's a good baseball.
Yeah, we didn't
He's
know that
probably
until last week.
better in baseball than anything.
Yeah. So, our people's champ, I think, was also him. Which I'm gonna give Brevin Ricker a pat on the back. Man, that kid was getting votes, and he's like, "Quit voting for me. Vote for my buddy Montana from Bath County." Now this is arch enemies, man. Menifee County versus Bath County. But I thought that was pretty cool, and I think,
And that
should.
I think you're reading my mind. I was going to say, that earned him right there the Tutu Sweet Treats dog.
I was gonna say I thought that was a pretty cool move by Brevin. So
Now, by the way, guys, this doesn't stop in basketball season. So baseball season, each school gets a representative.
Oh, yeah.
I fully expect to see Chase Wheeler's name on here somewhere. The other two, y'all got to pick it up.
Fair.
yeah, no, definitely it's a full school year thing, all different sports. So so our nominees this week from Montgomery County, Basketball is going to be Bailey Warner. She had 25 points, 10 rebounds in 2 games. Clark County, or GRC, Malachi Ashford, 31 points, 7 rebounds over 2 games. Brevin Ricker from Menifee, 61 points and 11 rebounds in 2 games. And Bath County, AD Mabior, 14 points and 16 rebounds. They only had 1 game last week. So congrats to all of them. That graphic will get up and ready.
14 points, 6 rebounds.
What did I say?
16. I was going to let it go.
Oh, sorry. I got excited. I guess I read a one that wasn't there. So we'll get that up and we can get voting and stuff going on that. We're still working on a guest for next week. So hopefully we'll have that. We're trying to get Menifee baseball on so we can complete the sweep on our baseball. But we'll try to get that lined out. So, guys, got anything else?
No, I've talked enough.
All right. Well, guys, there you have it for this week's edition of the From Corner to Corner Coaches Corner presented by WinCity Sports Cards. Remember to help us promote our podcast, our Athlete of the Week and Month programs. We do what we do for our communities, our teams, and our coaches, and our students. They all deserve it. And as always, we will root for our favorite teams. Catch you guys next week.
Go Cards.
From all of us here at From Corner to Corner podcast, we'd like to give a heartfelt thanks to our amazing sponsors for their continued support. ChemSoft, WinCity Sports Cards, CRC Renovations, Jacobs Auto Body, Kelwell Commissary, Simply Secured, Tutu Sweet Treats, Brent Wehunt Kentucky Farm Bureau, Kentucky Realty Group, Jacobs Vision Center, and Community Trust Bank. Your support makes all the difference, and we're truly grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for your awesome backing. This has been the From Corner to Corner podcast. Remember to tune in every Thursday and Saturday at 3 a.m. for our latest episodes. See you next time, and as always, stay safe, friends.
The Moco Four Horsemen would like to thank you for listening to From Corner to Corner. Be sure to go out and follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on, be sure to go out and give us a 5-star review. Thanks as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.